You're still watching Prime Morning, and it's time for News Flash. I want to give you a brief on our topics this morning, but before then, let me introduce my guests to you. They are seated on the ticket of the NPP this morning. Is a man, one and only, Solomon Asante. Good morning, Solomon.
Good morning, Rosalie.
How are you today?
I hope you're also doing well.
I'm fine, thank you. I've been waiting for you since last week for the conversation.
You know, my intent will never up till Tuesday.
Yes.
And fortunately or unfortunately,
you're here early. So we can ask that question. Very important question.
Any question.
We'll ask you. All right. So on the ticket of the NDC is Richard Manurubi. Hello, Richard.
Hi, Rosalie.
How are you?
Super.
Good. Are you ready for the showdown from Dr. Bawumia if he becomes the flag bearer of the party?
There's only one responsibility Ghanaians are waiting for on 7th January 2025. By swearing in His Excellency John Dramani Mahama as the President of the Republic of Ghana. And that is our concern.
Okay. So it's not about the showdown. We'll definitely get into that conversation. But, you know, the question I wanted to ask Solomon Asante. Solomon Asante is an ardent follower of Honorable Alan Kojo Kyerematen. They were the champions of Druoso. And all of a sudden, last week, Honorable Alan Kyerematen decided to withdraw from the race. Were you surprised when he did make that?
Actually, I wasn't surprised.
You were not?
No, last week we came to talk about this. That was when he had issued
the statement.
A statement that he will communicate to the public. He will make a public broadcast within the week. So I spoke to that. By then, people were saying he's going to leave the race. And I was telling you, we should wait till he comes out.
Did you know about it?
These are things that people are saying. But let's wait till we hear from him. Because from his communique, he will come out with a public broadcast. And lo and behold, he finally did.
But were you surprised?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Why should I be surprised?
Did you know about it?
You are human. If something goes on here, in fact, before you decide to leave this company, it's two things. Either maybe you think you are getting a better offer somewhere, or perhaps something didn't go on well with you and you think, oh, for this, let me just step aside. I mean, that's human institution. This shouldn't be about are you surprised or not surprised.
But are you happy?
The man has stated.
Are you happy that he withdrew from the race? Because you wanted him to become the flag bearer of the NDC.
NDC or NPP?
NPP, sorry. I'm sorry. NDC, you've been calling on him as well. Don't forget that.
Oh, no, we've always been calling on Dr. Bawumia to become a flag.
But you've actually been, you've been inviting Honorable Alan Kyerematen.
No. You know what I mean? No.
Okay.
Is that so? This is the first I'm hearing. But what I've been hearing from the anytime you meet a case like this, when we finish and we are going, Charlie, when you bring Alan Kyerematen, we are hot. Don't bring him. Let this man look. I've spoken to you. I mean, some of these things. For me, look, whatever we discuss behind us, when we sit here and you ask me, I'll tell you.
We are calling him that. He's a gentleman.
He's a friend. He has been talking to me.
Are you happy that Honorable Alan Kojo Kyerematen
That is a personal decision he has taken. I have to respect it.
Okay, so as an ardent follower, you are okay with the decision?
Before following Alan or being a sympathizer to Alan as a candidate, I am a member of the New Patriotic Party.
Okay. Will you vote on November 4th?
He stepped out of a race,
but
vote? Still remains a member of the New Patriotic. He that stepped out of the race will be voting. How much more me?
We are yet to know.
So are you going to follow somebody else?
No, I'm following the MPP.
The MPP. So no particular candidate?
For now, no.
If you don't mind me asking this last question, then we move into our topics.
Let it flow.
Out of the remaining four, who will you say that will be the best person to become the flag bearer of the NPP?
When I was following Alan, a similar question you posed to me, I told you, the 5 I cannot give you. But for sure, I know the one that I trust, the one that I think, yes, this man can do it, he will be part of it. I couldn't give you the list. If you ask me who is going to, I can't tell you. Because, and I'll repeat the reasons I gave to you, I am not in the minds of delegates.
Okay.
They are the best.
So I'm asking you though, who you think? Because you thought...
I have not thought. In fact, I have not thought.
Okay. All right.
So next week, maybe if by then I have thought, I'll let you know.
Okay. All right. Yes.
Remember, Solu is a law student.
Oh, stop this. Don't bring this here.
So he won't answer directly.
And I know you have no option now than to follow either Kennedy Japan or Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Okay. Right. Let's see where the votes will go. Our topics for today, we have actually five main topics, I must say. That is IGP Dan Parry to appear before the committee. That's the first one. And then we also go into where the vice president, that is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, saying that he will definitely give the NDC a showdown if he becomes the flag bearer of the NPP. So it means that he can actually break the 8 in 2024. Then Morocco earthquake. Ghana is praying for families and wishing injured speedy recovery. Our president has tweeted sympathizing with Moroccans with regards to the earthquake that shook the country. Over 2,000 people have been affected. Also, one big news that has happened in Ghana, somewhere 2 years ago, there was the Apiate explosion. We're hoping we won't hear anything like that again. However, it's happened again, and this happened at Anto Aboso quarry site, and 5 have been reported dead. We don't know what caused the explosion, but some people are, speculating that it could be that the explosives were kept in their rooms and it happened, but we don't know yet. But the Western Regional Minister has also said that when they find out what really happened, people will definitely face the consequences by the law. And then we have probably other topics that we'll try to add to it. But let's start off with our very biggest one. Since we have Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's picture already projected on the screen, let's go into that conversation where he's saying that he will give the NDC a showdown. I think the new word is showdown in 2024 if elected as the flag bearer of the new patriotic party. Do you agree with him, Solomon Asante?
Well, that is our vice president talking. Before anybody comes out to say something, he has weighed himself, he has checked, both within and without the composition as against the opponent. But we have already said this, that if it is His Excellency, the former President John Dramani Mahama, look, we have the men to match him and beat him to it.
Boot to boot.
Come on. So if the Vice President, who is a candidate, and should he become the flag bearer, is saying that he's going to give him a showdown, come on. It's not a question to ask.
Let me ask my viewers out there, do you think that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia can give the NDC a showdown in 2024 if elected as a flag bearer of the party? Or you think Honorable Kojo, what I'm going to say, I just say, you think Honorable Kennedy Japan, who owns the word showdown, will be the one to give the NDC a showdown in 2024? Which of these two? I'm just going to stick to the two. Which of these two do you think can give the NDC a showdown in 2024? Let's hear from you this morning. Richard Manoribi, do you agree with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia?
President, let me say good morning to you. And you are looking pretty this morning.
Thank you very much. Since you are single, I told you I'm getting you a wife.
Yeah, I said, I just said, it's open.
He says he's single.
You're open.
Yeah, it's open.
The offer is open.
It's open, so that's not a blessing. And I also told that if you like, just try me.
There are beautiful girls here who are single. Me, I'm married, so unfortunately I'm off the radar.
Yeah, off the radar. But I think there's still competition in any elections. That's why every 4 years there's elections, isn't it?
That's what I tried to tell Grizzly.
I'm not.
Anyway, it's not your 4 years. It's not your 4 years.
So let me say good morning to the cherished viewers and listeners, and good morning to the good people of Nkwanta South constituency. And they'll be surprised to see me here because yesterday, as late as 8 o'clock, I was still with them.
Wow.
And then just this morning, 6 o'clock, I'm here. They'll be surprised. That's why I have to sacrifice our party and sacrifice the good people of my constituency and my region. And over the weekend, so His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was in Bawumia constituency, and it was overwhelming. There's hope for the people. Building the Ghana we want, the nation we want. I think that we have a responsibility to play as a country. We have a responsibility to play as ordinary Ghanaian and a voter. So we'll give a shout down, a slow down, or a hurry up down. It's not a concern that we think as a Ghanaians. What we are saying is that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, I've met him over the weekend too as well, to be honest with you, at Kilimanjaro Hotel in Nkwanta South constituency. He was there, and I have a brief interaction with him. He's a gentleman actually, but the presidency is not his goal. Actually, that may be
not his goal.
No, presidency is not his goal.
But if it's not his goal,
his goal. I mean, we are saying that we said you want to give the NDC a showdown, borrowing somebody's word without references. He's a PhD holder. I mean, when you write your thesis, when you do references, you need to give a reference to avoid plagiarism. The showdown is for Canada, Japan, so he's plagiarizing. and I think that Canada, Japan should take him to court for plagiarism. And you are entitled to 15 years imprisonment. You are aware.
But the word showdown has always been there.
Oh, it was not a common word like we used to do today. But so, His Excellency Dr. Bawumia says that he's the only person that can give the NDC a showdown. He's the only person that can win elections to break the 8, to make the MPP, the Ghanaians to go into the hardship, the Ghanaians to go into the poverty, Ghanaians to go into the hunger, Ghanaians to go into lack of education, Ghanaians to go to lack of health, and that is what you want to give the Ghanaians. You want to give the NDC a showdown. Apparently, an ordinary Ghanaian in Bunkuru knows what is happening, where he has gone to Nalerigo to do surgery, and now the hospital accoutrements are shut down. An ordinary person in Larbanga now going to Damango knows that the road from Fufusu to Damango Road was constructed by Sasa John Dramani Mahama. The ordinary person in Nkwanta now who used to come from Krachakura to Kechibi to get health care in Nkwanta, now he can get a health care in Krachakura. Who knows that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has built a cheap compound for him, an ordinary person.
But he's actually saying the Zongo community.
I mean, we are not doing politics of tribalism and religion. If you want to do that, I think it's very dangerous to our democracy. Rosalind, if that's what it means me, you, Solo will not vote for the MPP, because if we are going to do Christian religion politics in this country, it's very dangerous. We live in this country in harmony. Dr. Bawumia is part of West Brigade, I'm told. He was also a Christian. Yes.
Yeah, he was a Christian.
He was a Christian before. Yeah, he was part of West Brigade. So if you turn out to do politics of religion, politics of tribalism, it's not going to help us. And I think that when we even talk about Zongo, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has Zongo at heart than Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. You recall, there was a time ago when the Muslim community has raised a concern that gynecologists, when you go to hospitals, the gynecologists, male gynecologists take care of their female gynecologists. In Islam, is haram. You remember what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama did? He quickly recruited female nurses through Ghana Education Trust Fund and sent them to Kriba to go and train about 34 of them, deploy them to the Zongo communities, and now they are taking care of those who take care of them. It's not Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. It's not Dr. Mahmoud, but it's President John Dramani Mahama. It's actually President John Dramani Mahama realized that they have English and Arabic schools in this country where they will not teach the Makarata. You know Makarata?
I know Makarata.
Yeah, they will not teach Makarata. What we'll do is that it's actually quickly recruit Arabic instructors into all the Islamic schools in this country, and they teach them Makarata. And now Makarata is now part of the system in the school, the Arabic instructors. And we were able to do that. And we try to build, it's actually in partnership with an NGOs, build mosques across this country. You are aware. If you go to every community in this country, mosques was built by Sasasi John Dramani in partnership with this. Even I think in
partnership with
NGOs.
Okay.
And even the Turkish government, when the chief imam and Sasasi John Dramani was able to build the largest mosque in West Africa in Ghana here.
The one at Nima.
The one at Nima. So we were able to even help renovate some of the mosques in this country. So if we are talking politics of religion, we are not going to talk about it. President John Dramani Mahama has done a lot for Islamic community, even youth in Zongo development. We try to do all those things, and
so
make sure
because of what he's done, the Zongo community we will definitely not
I am just saying that if you want to talk about based on religion,
in
our manifesto, I have worked in the health sector before, Rosalie. I can tell you. When I was working in the hospital, I was working in the theater. When a Muslim die, there's a way they do to carry their body out of the bed and then take the person out, because they believe in how to purify this. His Excellency in our manifesto said, look, we're going to put a separate mosque, a separate mortuary, because the way they embalm people in the hospitals, it's against the Islamic religion. So we're going to put a separate mosque in all the Zongo community areas, so that when a person died and relatives have not come, because in Islam, when you die in the morning, it is a particular time that they have to take you after prayers. They will take you to the mosque. So we're going to make availability of all those systems for them, so that they'll be able to. Here, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who is a Muslim, and the MPP say, oh, President John Dramani Mahama says he's going to build mosques for Muslims. No, we're going to restructure all these things. But you see, politics of religion should not be part of what we should be doing now. We should be talking about matters of reality, matters of how we can be able to make this country better. We should be talking about how this. Look, I can tell you, and I can boldly tell you, essentially, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia can tell you, I am just coming from Bonache, and he was from Pasa the same day. He uses a bus for his campaign, and he did that. Let me commend him for that. I mean, he's not going with so many V8 to get. He starts in the bar with his campaign team. But when they got to Nkwanta, they couldn't get to Pasa. They have to use other means to get to Pasa. Why?
Which other means?
They have to look for a motorable cars that can take them to Pasa. So you needed a V8 or a Prado to go, because the bus can go. So
eventually they had to use a V8.
They have to use a V8. Why would they use a V8? They were using a V8 because the roads, there's no road. The road is rotten. Do you know, have you seen a rotten road before? It's not the road is spoiled, it's rotten. Have you seen a rotten road before?
So they have to use
it. So these are the things we should be looking at. These are the things, if you should tell us messages that to sink into the ordinary person, ordinary Ghanaian. And that's what we are saying, that we are not talking about whether you are a religion, whether you are the Goma, you are the Konkoma, you are a Sisala, you are Mamprusi, you are Mul, you are Ashanti, you are this. We are saying that we want to build the Ghana we want. How do we build the Ghana we want? We are talking to you, that's Rosalind. What we're trying to do here, we want to build a 24-shift economy for an ordinary person.
Okay.
And we're going to make sure that we put in institutions. National Apprenticeship Program is coming to your doorsteps. After National Apprenticeship Program, we're going to build 6 new universities. And it's going to be technically basic, technical and vocational universities, build new hospitals, make sure build effective centers. We are going to set up a robust economy so that ordinary Ghanaian will get food to eat. Okay. Ordinary Ghanaians will have home. Ordinary Ghanaian will have water to drink. Potable water. You know what we did?
Okay.
Rosalind, you know the Kumawu Water Project built by President John Dramani Mahama. You know about Kumawu Water Project, about $200 million. We're talking about a market like Kwaturoba Market that can give a 24-hour economy. We're talking about Kumasi Central Market. Right. Those are the things we are looking at. We are not looking at whether you are a Muslim, whether you are a Christian, whether you are a Buddhist, whether you are Gumade or this. So in any case,
Richard, we understand you, yes. But you know where we come from. These things play a role, whether we like it or not. Whether we like it or not, because even when you made reference to Kumewu, which is a very good one, still is a stronghold for the NDC.
It doesn't matter.
So you could, so you can't do these things.
It doesn't, even in Kumasi, we build the largest market in Africa, but it doesn't matter. We need to build an economy. Okay. You understand? We need to build an economy. We're not building religion. We're not building traditions. I mean, that's what the NDC is, not a political party. We are not the same as MPP. That's one thing the Ghanaians know. We're a Congress party. We are Congress. That is a National Democratic Congress. Rosalind is part of it. Solo is part of it. A Congress is, every Ghanaian is part of it. Rosalind, I'm not saying that, but we are going to give you an offer when President John Dramani Mahama wins. If you reject it, it means you are also wicked to Ghanaians. But we know your capacity.
But what is this?
We know your capacity.
Which capacity?
So we are not saying that because I'm talking to President John Dramani Mahama when I thank her, you know. So we are not looking at because you are a Muslim. We are going to vote for Muslims.
So you are going to give me an offer?
Yes, we are going to give. President John Dramani, I'm still having that conversation with him. We're going to give you an offer. And so we are saying that anybody that is capable, anybody that can do the job, we should come on board. But if you sit down and say because Muslims are going to vote for you, we'll give you a showdown. And Christians are saying that, okay, we are also going to go and vote for our Christian brother. Then we'll give you a show up, down. Hey. You know? So I'm not trying to do politics of religion.
Okay.
You understand?
Right, let me bring
so I'm from the northern region. Yeah. President Dramani Mahama is from the northern region. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is from the northern region. I think that we should all come as brothers and make sure that we build this nation and build a Ghana we want, rather than building a tribal and religious politics. It's unfair.
So very well said, unfair. Richard.
Rosalind.
Yes, Solo.
You've seen how my brother is. He's my brother for ages. That is attitude. Don't be so much surprised. Don't be taken aback. No, don't be taken. I'm just telling you. He's my brother. We've been brothers for ages.
But we'll give you offer.
This is his nature. So don't be worried. But one thing you should notice, when it goes in his favor or the party's favor, the communication would be different from when it is against.
Right.
That is it. The showdown that the vice president is talking of, from his speech, knowing him for ages, I know that they've been hit by it. And in a nice way, for not letting people see how badly they've been affected by that statement. He would, oh, we are not doing politics of this. But, you know, there are instances with this, within our politicking that you hear them doing this similar, tribal thing. I mean, the NDC. He himself has sat on set with him. He has done it before. Today, it is not going, it is hitting them. He say, oh, we are not doing this. He's my brother. We are from the north. So he's saying the JDM is from north. Bawumia is from north. He's also from north. So they have to sit down and there. Is he? So maybe perhaps I have to believe the showdown that the vice president is.
You are getting it wrong. No,
perhaps I have to believe the showdown that the president is talking about.
If you want to know exactly what he said, he claims the NDC is intimidated by his candidate.
It's true. It's true. I can see from
delegates
his
in the
behavior.
Zongo communities have decided to vote for him. Should he win the race to lead the NPP in election 2024? He says, if you look at the strongholds in the North and Zongo communities, it indicates that if Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia leads the NPP, these are his words, so not somebody else speaking on his behalf, they will vote for the NPP. And when this happens, the NDC cannot win the election.
Rosalind,
is it?
Rosalind,
what I told you, that is exactly what I'm telling you.
It is not a platform. I mean,
oh, no, I had it before she got into it. Hey, come on, stop this. Stop this. You spoke lengthy. I kept quiet. So if you be that civil. Oh, my brother.
You know, I'm just a disciplined person.
Maybe today you're trying to. But that's not your nature. He's in suit. I understand.
Now he wears suit, so now he's different.
Now, maybe he comes.
No, he used to come in kaftan, but now it's all suits.
Maybe when he's coming here. Look at his face.
So lovely.
You know what? From what the vice president said, that they are being intimidated by him, and that he's going to look. You don't need a suit here. From the delivery of my brother here, I would say what the vice president said is true.
Oh, yes. You see, some people are also of the opinion that if they should bring the, because we've even done a polls here before where most Ghanaians were saying that if they should bring the NPP should bring the vice president as a flag bearer, it will bite them a little bit because they feel that, you know, with regards to the economy being not too strong, we might have the same thing again. Some people also have the opinion again that looking at the vice president coming back, the NDC can use the mistakes of the NPP in their campaign and have, you know, an upper hand over the NPP.
Rosalind, let me tell you, there's something, a fundamental that we all, sometimes when I'm making this analysis, we tend to relegate or forget about it. Let me ask this question. From 2020, when this COVID thing came in, down to this time, compared to from 2017 when we took over, up to when that incident occurred, had that incident not occurred, would you have jumped into conclusion to say that, oh, the NPP is performing poorly or badly? We shouldn't forget that something happened on that thing that happened to us. I always refer to it as an accident. That accident which occurred, even though it was of a global form, the impact on us has led to what we are realizing or what we are going through now. And that thing did not occur to His Excellency the former president when he was the president of the country. But even with that, when that external accident did not occur to his administration, what did we go through? Do you think Ghanaians? Well, anyway, he said Ghanaians of short memory. But I want to tell you, the Ghanaian electorate now are quiet, open. They are widely opened and very discerning. They can discern between the days.
You know, when we look at the elections 2016, the NDC was very, very unpopular. You know,
why would you say that they were very unpopular?
When I say they were unpopular, is because
there's a reason.
Yes, good. Now, when it came to 2020, you know, we had a lot of freebies as Ghanaians. You know, everybody was calling the president names, Ado Showboy, Ado Guy. You know, he's been able to, you know, do this, do that. However, that same year, the NDC got over 6 million votes. And you ask yourself, and you go to Parliament again, where currently it's close to a hung Parliament. And so you ask yourself, it's actually a hung Parliament, I must say. So you ask yourself, how is it that between 2016 to 2020, the NPP saying they performed so well, where the president was being called so many good names, lost so many numbers with regards to votes? And then in 2024, we will still remember that in 2016, or from 2017 all the way to before 2020, things were so good. So Ghanaians will, vote in favor of that. Two things,
hung Parliament, and then second one, the reduction in votes in 2020 elections. Hung Parliament, we as a party had our own internal issues, which led to that. That is why that crop of national executives were all wiped. I hope you understand. So that one, I've told you, is not because NDC did something better or MPP didn't do something well. No.
It was your internal stuff.
We had internal issues.
That's why you lost so many seats in Parliament.
We had internal issues because there are certain concerns that we should have played it to the left, but we did play it to the right, and things were not adding up. I said that is why, in the wisdom of the delegates, they voted the national executives out. I hope you understand me. Thank you, especially the CEO of the party. I hope you understand, because the expectation was that he will be retained, but people think no, he didn't do this right, he didn't do that, or they didn't do so. They have to take.
Is it John Boydo you're talking
Of course,
about?
yes.
Okay.
Then let's come to the second one, which is the reduction in votes. Check the trend from 92, coming up to this time. Any government who takes the 4-year term, your first incoming, the quantum of vote that you get reduces on your second distance. Yes. The reason is the reason is you have people following you as a political party, and when you look, you cannot satisfy all. This man is one of the NDC communicators who always say, when we are on set, they even say it on set. Oh, so the way you been working for the party till that, you don't even have a car to. I hope you understand.
You don't have a car, Solo?
We should. I don't want us to
you said it. I didn't say it.
No. Okay. So the way every day you don't sleep, you are here today, you are look, and still the party has not. I say yes. That's the difference between the MPP and the NDC.
So the party hasn't satisfied you yet.
No.
I'm developing a point. The reason why the vote will reduce is that you have people in the party who think they've not been met. I hope you understand me. I have love for the party. It's for a purpose. That is why I am an MPP member. I hope you understand me.
Right.
Because I know between the MPP and the NDC, if it comes, look, I'm that nationalistic person. You know, when I started coming here, you know that, yes. So I look between the two, I said, look, these people are people who, if you support, will be able to take the country to that level as compared to the NDC. That is why I'm in MPP. So despite what I'm doing, despite the hell that man went through towards 2016 before we came to power, if by now I've not gotten anything, that is not my beef.
Okay.
I hope you understand me.
Okay.
And I know maybe at God's own time, maybe it's a heart to be touched.
Yeah.
To recognize that, look, this gentleman, we have to do this for him.
Right.
That I'm not perturbed. But what I want to tell you is that reduction in votes is a trend in both MPP and NDC. When you become, you can certify all your people. So the votes that you get for the first 4 years, when those who will not be touched, getting into the second year during the elections, this voter apathy thing, people will want to punish the guy because that sort of thing, and this contributes to that. But he's telling me when you go for the first one, you get more votes. To the second one, to make up your second term, your votes will reduce, and then the third one, they vote against you, leave office. I want to tell you, we should look at the votes, right? The votes that we had, 1 million plus, and then this time almost 500 was off. The quantum of votes that we have will not take us off power.
Fantastic. It's time for us to take some comments. Richard, I'll come back to you. Let me read some comments from my viewers. You know, we are doing this together. we and the viewers. So
yes,
they are equally important. So good morning to you. The game called politics should be played very much with very much decorum, but not on the note of political mafia tactics, because there is no accurate, proper mechanism that watches over the watchman. That is the daily dealings of our top government officials. My point is that institutions that are to make sure that we record zero tolerance of corruption must master their game to bring down the level of corruption within the system. Hashtag love, respect. Name Aaron Bebako Kokomisa. Thank you so much, Aaron. Thank you for sending your message. Daniela Kmaliok from Sandema says, I have always maintained that Dr. Bawumia's integrity and credibility has been sold by President Akufo-Addo, failed family and friends government. Under this so-called economic messiah, we saw our economy broken beyond repairs. Under his watch, we saw the cedi drop drastically, resulting into the destruction of businesses in the country and rendering many jobless. Apart from this incompetence relating to economic management, he has also proven to be a politician who peddles on truth in almost all his campaign policies. How can we take such a person serious? Dr. Bawumia is certainly not a match for JDM. All right, Daniel. Bawumia can never win 2024 elections. Kennedy is there and Alan too there. They all have family and friends to vote the NPP out come 2024. Good morning, Joy Prime. Isaac Alai Hohoi. Okay, I think what Isaac is trying to say is that if Dr. Bawumia becomes the flag bearer, then definitely Honorable Kennedy Japo and Honorable Alan Chevating
will form their party.
They might step away and
form their party.
You don't know that for sure. How do you know that they'll form their party?
We are also losing around.
Dr. Bawumia is the NDC most scariest foe. In fact, there is something magically with Dr. Bawumia. His name alone is a campaign message against John Mahama and his disciples. The showdown between the PhD degree holder and John Mahama is like a football game between the star-studded Real Madrid and Agona Fankoba. No match at all. Joe Dakota is Ricardo Kenton. Thank you so much, Joe, for sending your message. Good morning to you all. Sincerely speaking, the only person who can give NDC showdown is Honorable Kennedy Japan. Dr. Bawumia can never ever give NDC any showdown. All right. Bawumia is getting the 2024 elections totally wrong. The showdown is not with the NDC. The showdown is between him and the ordinary Ghanaians. This election is about individuals living standards, jobs, value for their money, good roads leading to their houses and villages. No one is going to vote on promises. From Fafa Amasama. All right, Fafa, thank you so much for sending your message. Kefrim Ponjoneho Mankran so said, good morning, Madam Rosalind and your guests. Whoever candidate the NPP is presenting will definitely give Mahama showdown come 2024. But I think Kennedy is the best choice. Greetings to Honorable Francis Menu Adabo, MP Ahafo Ano South East. All right, thank you so much, K. Frimpong. Kennedy Japan can try. Okay, I will try and rectify this. All right. We'll try and rectify this and then we get back. More messages will definitely be coming in for you at home. Please do send in your message. Okay, let me try and get this one. Good morning, Joy Prime. Bawumia is just invoice maker. I thought you know everything, not knowing that in the class when you have a noise maker, everything in the class they will always draw his name down. So Obama is just a noise maker in Ghana policies, but he do nothing. I'm from North as I am. Okay, I think you're trying to measure your name, but it didn't happen. Canada Japan can try giving NDC showdown, but will still not succeed. Bawumia has no campaign message. NPP's Wale Adam Smith saying he will give NDC showdown come December 7, 2024 is nothing than a slogan. They have masterminded slogan without actions. He was in Oti region, Karachi East constituency yesterday for his campaign. He spoke for 45 minutes without saying anything about the Ghanaian economy. He said, vote for me because I'm the most experienced politician among my peers in the NPP. How can such a comedian become the president? He also said he knows how to beat Mahama because he has won him before. I can't remember seeing Bawumia picture on the ballot in any election we have had in this country. There were some, this were some of his campaign messages. Canadian Japan will give him and Nanado showdown. Okay. It looks like Canadian Japan has a lot of fans, I must say. Quite surprising, isn't it? Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised.
You're not surprised?
I'm not surprised, no.
You think Kennedy will give Bawumia showdown on November 4th?
It still lies in the domain of the delegates. I can't tell.
You can't tell. All right, let's move on to our next topic.
Oh, no,
you wanted to say something briefly. Let me give you 1 minute and I can move to else we won't get the next topic. Do you want to talk about the next topic?
Certainly we have to talk about the next topic.
Quickly so that we can...
So sitting here and say my demeanor shows that what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said was true is what I wanted to tell you that, look, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia told us he was an economist and he was going to build this country based on economy, moving from production to taxation economy, and then we're going to build one district, one factory, one village, one dam, and we're going to make sure that this economy become very robust. Ghanaian youth, young guys have faith in him, voted for NPP massively. I might say and admit that in 2016, most of the Ghanaians voted for NPP because of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. All of a sudden, he became an ICT teacher, and then trying to do digitalization around. And Ghanaians know exactly what it means. So we are talking about reality on the ground. We are talking about what President John Dramani Mahama has done. I believe that when he wants to campaign based on it, he's not even a flag bearer yet, though. I don't even think that we have to compete on that. But when he believes and thinks that, I have no doubt that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will not become a flag bearer of the NDC, MPP. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is going to the ballot with President John Dramani Mahama. I must say that. And we must prepare for that, and we are preparing for that.
You are prepared
we are preparing that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will be on the ballot. We are campaigning for him. We are making sure, talking to the MPP delegates friends that we know, to vote for him so that he become the flag bearer of the MPP.
Why?
So, I mean, he fit to be there because he need to answer. You need to bear the consequences of the mess economy because the former president, the incoming former president, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, told us that in his darkest day, that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was behind him. At any time that he's there, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is one of the champion vice presidents we have ever had. And so if you have a champion economy, then they have a champion vice president becoming a flag bearer of the party. That would determine what is actually happening in this country. The youth want the NAPCO to be restored. The youth want food. The youth want water to drink. You want jobs. These are the things we are talking about.
Okay.
And when we have it and he comes, maybe. But we don't have it, and you look at President John Mahama Kotokoro Market. You go to American Hospital. You go to MPS. You go to Fufuso Solar Road. You go to Pandai Road, and you see how economy is booming there because of an enable environment that I've created for them. That's what will determine who is to vote. So, as one of the testers says that the vote lies on the ordinary Ghanaian,
not right. Let me try.
So let's make progress, and then no, you don't
farmers across the country. We also see for over 50 years now. This is the first time they have a 5,000
On that note, actually, there was a sad news that happened over the weekend.
Yes,
gentlemen, Richard Manuribi, Richard Manuribi, please, can I have some decorum? Thank you.
I just want him to know.
Thank
He's
you.
talking about Kuku.
No, I am the one conducting the conversation.
Do you know Nakuja?
Richard?
Do you know Nakuja?
Richard Manuribi.
I just ask questions.
So there was a sad news that happened over the weekend where there's an explosion at Anto Aboso, and 5 persons have lost their lives. They are even yet to get to more numbers, as we've been told. But it's quite sad, and we ask ourselves, why should there be an explosion? We thought when we heard about the Apiace explosion, that was it. It wasn't going to happen again. But it looks like things are not going how everybody thought it should, meaning that some people might be getting a bit careless than we thought that they shouldn't be. And so the Western Regional Minister has also spoken about it and said that looking at what has happened there, he's going to make sure that heads will roll for whoever was irresponsible that this explosion occurred. Heads will definitely roll with regards to that. Richard, let me start with the conversation with you.
If you say heads will roll, the people of Samar district are all affected, are you aware? It's in Samar district.
But they are going to do investigation.
And the preliminary investigations also shows that it's really sad, and let me admit that it's not a good story we've heard this morning.
It's not good.
I'm told the preliminary investigation that have been conducted, the owner of the company is Omni Quarry, and the owner has also passed. And so when you say heads will roll, how is the heads going to roll? 4 Ghanaians passed and one a Chinese national has also passed. And then, and I'm also told, and if I pay my checks that I quickly did some checks, the company has been registered for the Minerals Commission and had the license to operate for the quarry. But you see, Rosalie, you know, the blasting system that they use, if you really take your time to look at the mining, and the same dynamite they use the dynamite and those things are used for blasting the rocks and the hard rocks and then do the quarry. And I'm told that they were not given permit to keep
in their rooms.
They don't have the permit to keep the blasting equipment. They have the permit to operate as a quarry. So they can subcontract another for them to. But they see, I'm told because of the illegality and then as institutions are not quite monitoring and evaluation system is not working well, they were able to keep it closer to where they sleep. So when the explosion happened, it affected them, and a lot of, I think some of them are even in the hospital now. And 5 died, and 1 Chinese national also died. And I expected that the investigation should be done, critical investigation should be done on this. And then there was some times ago, I recall, Honorable Kuku Nayan, I mean, that's what Minerals Commission, and something has gone around all the quarry sectors, and they started arresting some people, and I think they were politicizing it and those things. And then if you know what it takes, it's just like they say, it's all sound winning, you know, sound winning quarry centers and mining centers are all illegalities. They do a lot of galamsey there, and the illegalities that are going there is so bad. So I think that we should look at it. It's so sad that you lose your lives and because of the daily bread. And people that have died, you might not know they are the breadwinners of their family. They are the people don't know. Maybe some of them have kids. Personally, if I just imagine you have kids and you are 25 years, you might not have that experience.
Yeah, I'm 25,
yes, so,
but I have a child, but I'm still 25.
I mean, yes. Yeah. So just imagine that you wake up in the morning and you are eating outside and your child doesn't eat at home. How will you feel? And so just imagine he's lying down in a cemetery. The child has no hope. That might lead this kid to some other things in future. And that's why people do. Strategism. All this now boils down to strategism. You come with politicians and technical people will tell you there will be compensations. How would that compensation give child parenting? These are the things we should be looking at. And so things like this, we must be critical on this. We shouldn't look at more into monitoring when it comes to issues like this, that preventive care. So when you have a critical measures in preventive care, all this mess will not happen. So I will urge institutions. EPA has a responsibility to play, and Minerals Commission has a responsibility to play. And those things, if they've taken critical look at it without going there and take money and come back, it will not happen. I'm told. There's NADMO have been deployed there, and fire service have been deployed there, police have been deployed there to do what again? Lives have been lost, properties have been distant, and it's not even affected in the distance. A lot of people in the Shamal district have counted the loss of their properties.
There because they have to go save some lives.
I mean,
people
are counting out of that.
Yeah, so they have to be.
So that's the point I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not necessary to go there. What I'm saying that when we look at the preventive care of our institutions, that need to happen before we look at the disaster management. This is disaster management. So these are the problems I have. So I will want to urge government. I'm not saying that I'm not saying the government is not doing well, but I'm just saying I want to urge government. You have so many CEOs in these institutions. It's deputy CEOs in these institutions. Whilst operational systems are somewhere in the western region, central region, man, you are sitting in Accra. Why don't you center your offices in those areas, operational prone areas, so that they'll have critical monitoring evaluation on this? Because somebody moving from Accra to Shamal, you know Shamal district, it's quite far. Before you know, you go to Shamal district, there's no Minerals Commission office there, there's no EPA. I'm not saying.
You said for all you know.
For all you know, so yes, we are not too sure about it. And so you sit here now move to Accra. If you go to places like Mansun Kwanta, Mansun Ayamfori, all those places, they're mining areas. The Minerals Commission is sitting in a nice office in Accra here. Why don't you center all those areas there? Have a good task force to be able to monitor all those things.
Maybe because probably there is an office there.
No, so you center there. Yes. Okay. Look, do you know Bree Authority? Yeah. Their head office is in Accra. How does that make sense to you?
Anyway, let me bring someone in. Okay.
It's an issue we should look at.
Sure.
And then I will urge the president to also issue a statement on this because he hasn't talked about it, but
he will. He will.
He will. Yeah. But he's talking about Morocco. He's not talking about Ghana.
Will.
He will. 4 of your national died.
He will.
How long has it been?
He will.
No, Rosalind, do you speak for the president?
He will. We know the president will. Anyway, let me bring Solomon in. Solomon.
Rosalind, for the sake of our viewers, we have to reiterate that the thing occurred in Anto. Anto is a suburb of Anto is a suburb of Abosso, which is in the Shama district. That's Western region. I have read the report from two different sources. I'm seeing somehow contrary views or reports on it. If you listen to, you read on the portal of City News, you realize that they are talking about, the total number of people who were at the quarry before the explosion were 22. Mm-hmm. Out of these, 10 escaped unhurt, 5 injured and receiving treatment. 15, that's making 15. So we are left with 7. 4 Ghanaians dead. So we have 19. 1 foreigner dead.
Chinese.
They did it for them. They didn't even
but they said national.
I'm coming.
No, I think for Joy.
I read it from Joy.
Yes, my Joy online is
I'm giving
Chinese.
it from
Yes.
from
He's saying city.
Yes.
But we are enjoying my Joy.
1 foreigner dead, and then they indicated that that foreigner who is dead is a lady. That one they indicated. Mm-hmm. Then they went further to say 4 Chinese cannot be found. So if 22, and you take the tabulation of these figures that I've given, that is around 20. So it means there are some 2 others.
We don't know where they are. But can we come to my Joy Online?
Yes, my Joy Online is also given. It says 5 persons, mm-hmm. 4 Ghanaians, 1 Chinese. Mm-hmm. Yes. It occurred 11 p.m. on Saturday mm-hmm. evening, the past Saturday.
So we are
then
giving you accurate.
Then the details they gave. 3 Ghanaians
mm-hmm.
have been confirmed dead. Some of the bodies include Chinese nationals. Mm-hmm. As compared to that of City, it says 1.
No, my Joy actually says 1. No.
You so read, I have it here. I'll show it to you.
It says this comes after 5 persons, including 1 Chinese national, died following an explosion at the site.
Take this here. But this
is my Joy Online. I'm not reading any other.
So go down. I read that. That was the beginning, but within.
Wait, relax.
Your host is from multimedia.
Solo.
Oh, no, I'm telling you that.
I have it in front of me.
Okay, scroll down.
This is what it reads. It says, this comes after 5 persons, including 1 Chinese national, died following an explosion at the site. Following an inspection of the site, the ministers told journalists that the quarry operators known as STA at SAMS had taken over the site from the previous Omni quarry operators. However, it was revealed that STA at SAMS had not completed the required licensing processes and therefore were not authorized to carry out quarry activities. So if you look at what is being said, here it says 5 persons have lost their lives. 1 Chinese person. Again, these quarries, so there is one particular quarry company that owns the place, but they are not the ones operating. The operators are now STA at SAMS, although STA at SAMS do not have a full license to operate. So this is why here to roll. Now you understand.
Yes. But did they have a digital operational permit?
Can I continue with my? Yes, I have it here on my Joy online portal. The 5th paragraph is saying some of the bodies include Chinese nationals. Then we're told again in the report that explosives are not kept. They were not kept.
They were not permitted.
I'm reading from what is. Look, read this. What do you see? Explosives not kept satisfactorily. The explosive that they had there, they didn't keep it satisfactorily. Mm-hmm, In fact, if you read further, it will tell you that even in the room that they are sleeping, that is where they kept it.
They said some,
and that is how come it was able to
rooms.
Sort of tear the body, some of the bodies apart, because that's the extent to which the explosion went.
It's explosive.
I hope you understand me. So I think other mining centers will have to take a cue from this, that they don't keep explosives where people sleep.
So let them know.
Is it? And now, then that is the Ghanaian attitude for
no, it's illegality.
Wait, so the main issue, when it comes to what the regional minister said, regional minister is saying heads will roll because there are things that are legal and things that are illegal. First of all, STA ATSAMs actually were operating without a license. That's the first thing. Yeah. Well, it's like you going to buy a dress from somebody. You go and the person gives you a dress and you say, oh, I'll pay in the next 3 months. You still don't have full of it, you understand? So they didn't have the license to operate, yet they went ahead to operate. They were not supposed to keep, because when you get your license, you are told you are supposed to keep. There are always guidance, guidelines, what you're not supposed to do, what you're supposed to do. But they decided not to follow the guidelines, and this is why the regional minister says, heads will roll. Because if they had kept it away from where persons are, probably would have exploded, but no life would have been lost.
And another dimension of the report is that authorities are saying licenses was given to the company to mine and not to keep explosives. That's another.
Well, definitely we'll get to the bottom of this one day, right?
So I was just giving an advice to other mining companies that they should take a cue from this, so that they wouldn't be keeping explosives.
So they know,
but they are not doing it.
Quickly to
but they should take a cue from
quickly to our next topic. We'll talk about it briefly.
Solo is not concerned about Ghanaians that died. He's always concerned about how the explosives are kept.
Let's quickly go into our next topic.
If you stop keeping explosives at where people sleep, Ghanaians will not die again. I always go to the bottom of issues. I don't look at the surface. That's the difference between you and I.
Our next topic
I'm going to the bottom so I don't really care.
Gentlemen, I don't know why when I'm speaking, you are always speaking over each other. Can you please let me speak? Thank you.
Yeah,
all right, so the next topic has to do with IGP Dampare, who has been invited to face a committee over the leaked audio of a plot to get him out of office. So allegedly PP can break the 8. And some people are of the opinion that he actually released the tape. There's been a lot of allegations against the IGP, hence he's been invited to come and answer questions of allegations against him, if they are true or they are not true. Now, Friday, there was another video of Bugri Nabu speaking about, how he earns 10,000 Ghana cedis from the IGP monthly because he aided him to become the IGP. As to whether it's true or not, again, it could be an allegation, it could be a setup. We are yet to get to the bottom of it, but the IGP has been invited. Solo, your take on it?
Well, I think it is in order to invite the IGP, and I commend the committee for inviting him, because they are investigating into an issue to come out with some recommendation, and it will be out of practice to ignore inviting the IGP so far as his name has been mentioned by several others who have appeared before the committee. Definitely his name, because of course natural justice, you need to hear from the other side too. His name has been mentioned, not one person. Some more than one persons have mentioned his name. So definitely he needs to be called to come and answer to how come his name got involved, and then what has been said about him, to sort of speak to it. So that is all the uttering part. You need to hear the other side, and that is exactly what they are doing. I think we need to commend them for that. They are doing according to law.
Fantastic.
And we thank them for that. I mean, as simple as that.
Right.
But for whatever he's going to say, well,
we don't know
we are yet to hear. And for whatever allegation, somebody taking 10,000, that's their own beef.
Yeah.
I didn't take any 10,000. So.
A month. Anyway.
Rosin, as Solo rightly said, he understands the law, I understand communication. As you understand journalism. So I, as a brigadier's daughter, you should understand security as well. So I think that these two gentlemen, COP Mensah, Alex Mensah, and the superintendent are successfully trying to drag the IGP into the mud and make sure he appear before Atachia's committee. But you see, it's a national security issue that must take it critically. To downgrade the integrity of the Ghana Police, the IGP, Inspector General of Ghana Police Service, will make people lose confidence in the policing, because policing is serving with integrity. And if you look at the video that's circulating around, and Bugri Nabu, I've always had a concern about Bugri Nabu and this system. Bugri Nabu is a father to me, you know that. Oh. Yeah, he's a concombat, and I am concombat too. He's one of the only paramount chief we have, and I think that shall play decorum in dealing with his issues. Because number one, you are a chief, you're not more a politician, and the law doesn't allow you as a chief to get yourself involved into politics, because you are a member of Regional Council of Regional House of Chief, you are a member of the National House of Chief, and the state spend a lot of money on you. And to say that you've aided to appoint an IGP, and the IGP, according to the video, I mean, you aided to appoint an IGP, and the IGP pays you 10,000 a monthly. And I even saw young guys who were also his agents. Also came, I don't know what the video solo came in fighting him and making sure that they also get their share. And it's a rejecting and refusing to give them their share. This clearly shows that. And then when he appeared before the committee, he clearly said that he is an MPP and he has to work for MPP, and he will not sit down to make sure his party goes into opposition. But you see, and he mentioned something that I will also look at this. When you say people's names came in, and then the committees have to report to the committees. I agree. Asolo says that it is good that allegations that were made, he should also come and clear himself. I was scared because of he being an IGP and bringing him to come and answer questions into the public, and it will bring the integrity down. But Rosalind, one thing you should know is that Bukin Abu also mentioned President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo's name in the video. Are you aware?
What did he say?
He said they should bring money. The first tranche of the money has already gone, and they should bring the second tranche of the money to the president. And that's why I think that Attache Committee also called the president and asked whether he has received money. Because there has been so many allegations in this country that the president has been receiving money. You know that.
So you want the president to appear before the committee?
The president must also appear before the committee. If the names that have been mentioned should appear before the committee.
Okay.
The president, because you recall, Nyandechi mentioned that he was giving money to the president. You recall, Canada, Japan said that if you want to see the president, you need to pay money. You recall, Edwin said that he take the money and go and give it to the president. You recall, Bukin Abu said if you want to become a DC, you bring goat and listen to the president.
Anyway,
and Bukin Abu has made the second allegation that the first tranche of the money has gone to the president
to
get the IGP. And the second tranche is yet to go. And he should be invited as a president.
Okay, so
as we are being grateful to us.
I'll say a big thank you to
Solomon
Asante,
let the president also appear before the
NPP this morning, and Richard Manarubi, who represented the NDC this morning. The president has actually tweeted that his heart and our sympathy are with the people of Morocco. Our heart and sympathy are also with the people of Anto Aboso. We know the president will definitely speak about it. We know the president's heart is also with them as well. It's not just us, but the president's heart. We'll take a quick break. Coming up next is What's Trending. My name is Rosalie Felly. I don't know what to do with Richard Manarubi.